I now call this meeting to order at 5:02 p.m. Assistant Director Paredes, can you lead us in the fight song, please? Tigers fight. We are now going to move into a roll call.
President Ali. Here. Vice President Brenton. Here. Treasurer Allen. Attorney General, Chief of Staff Hurley. Deputy Chief of Staff Brantley. Director Edwards. Assistant Director Yaboya. Director Bryant. Assistant Director Lane. Director Matthews. Assistant Director Reese. Here. Director Assistant Director Animashon. Director Reyes.
Present.
Assistant Director Paredes. Director Kasaka. Assistant Director Johnson. Director Bullock. Assistant Director Dalton. Director Trogdon. Assistant Director Fitzgerald. Director Icard. Director Morgan. Assistant Director Young. Director Scott. Assistant Director Brown. Director Ifeji. Assistant Director Revere Forbes. Representative Hannah. Representative Ajapong. Representative Davis. Representative Andrew. Representative Guilford. Representative Osazua. Graphic designer Zinward. Photographer Lahai. Videographer Gineja. President Pro Tempore Tasker. Government Operations Chair Kelly. Appropriations Chair Miller. Senator Atalogu. Here. Senator Scromo. Senator Williams. Senator Apia Kodua. Senator Burrell.
Present.
Senator Williams. Senator Hastings.
Present.
Senator Billy Echo. Senator Rhines. Parliamentarian Ekbo. Chief Justice Alojo.
Present.
Deputy Chief Justice Blandon. Associate Justice Breedlove. Associate Justice Ubom. Associate Justice Nikita.
Present. We are now going to move into approval of the minutes. Minutes are approved. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Senator Farrell.
Motion to strike Senate Bill 6.
Are there any seconds? I second. Thank you, Senator Williams. You may now vote. Wait, are you recording? And with a vote of 700, the motion to strike Senate Bill number 6 has passed. Are there any other amendments to the agenda? Hear none, see none. We are now going to bring up our guest speaker, the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Vernon Hurd.
Right, good evening. How's everybody doing? Good, good. It's really great to see you all. First of all, let me just start by saying thank you for all the ways that you really do provide outstanding leadership to our student body here at TU. I'm always proud to be able to spend time with our awesome leaders of SGA and just the ways that they're constantly advocating for students, constantly really bringing great ideas to enhance the student experience. So I really want to thank you all for the partnership and the opportunity to come and share. So let me ask one quick question. Who knows what student affairs is here at TU? See a few hands. See a few hands. All right, so I want to start with kind of an overview. So again, I'm Vernon Hurd. I have the great privilege of serving as Senior Vice President for Student Affairs and University Life here at TU. And so ultimately, I have a lot of responsibility for much of the student experience, student services, supports on campus that are primarily non-academic. So the Division of Student Affairs is organized in 5 thematic units. So the first being housing and residence life. And so all of the campus housing on campus is led by Kelly Hoover, who is the Assistant Vice President for Housing and Residence Life. The next area is our student health and well-being. And so that's comprised of the counseling center, the health center, campus recreation, was located in Burdick Hall. Then we have a new area, which is our health education, health promotion area, because we have really been working on elevating and enhancing student well-being here. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. The third area is campus life, which includes student activities. It includes events and conference services, new student and family programs, as well as campus-wide dining. And so if you know Matt Leno is the member of my team, Assistant Vice President for Campus Life, and of course, the administrative support and advising for SGA as a part of that student activities team. Fourth area is the Career Center, career development. And so we have the Career Center, which is in this building, but we have what we call a both and model. And so we have a central career center that's really designed to help with skill building, whether it's resume writing, networking skills, interview skills, but then we have career communities, which are in all of the academic colleges. So those liaisons partner with the colleges, partner with faculty to do kind of industry, field specific type of career development work. And then the last area is the Dean of Students Office. So the Dean of Students Office is really where a lot of our support services, particularly when life happens, when challenges happens. That includes student outreach and support, SOS. So our emergency funds, whether it's sickness, bereavement, things happen in life. That's the team that often works with students, liaison with faculty to make sure that you have advocacy and support there. student success programs that has all of our, the SAGE program, our first generation, programs, CROP, all those programs are housed, in that area. Military and Veterans Center, supporting our military affiliated students, civic engagement, social responsibility, so really elevating the work of civic and community engagement on campus, and TUNE, our TUNE campus. We have student services at TUNE, so our director of student services at the TUNE campus is a part of the Dean of Students office. And so, as you can see, the supports are really varied and wide ranging for the Division of Student Affairs. And so our presence here, our work is really for no other reason than to support your success. So whatever way you and all of our students define success, getting you from point A to point B, that journey in between, we want to provide the resources, the support to really help you get there. And certainly we work in collaboration with all of our campus partners across campus. So I have been doing higher education for 21 years. This is my 21st academic year. I initially planned to be an aerospace engineer, but how did I get to higher education and student affairs? It was because of my experience. I am a graduate of Bowie State University, another USM institution, and the experience I had, the support that I had, really inspired me to go into this work and really inspired me to want to do the same for students. And so I've been here at TU for February will be 6 years. And we really have focused on how do we enhance and expand the student experience in every way possible. And for me, a big part of my priority and vision has been around holistic well-being, because I am of the belief that it's hard to be academically successful if you're not well. It's hard to be professionally successful if you're not giving care to your core needs from a health and well-being standpoint. So I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of a lot of the new initiatives that we put in place. I'm really proud that in August, we actually received a national recognition from Insights in Academia, being a national leader in mental health and holistic well-being. And so much of this success wasn't just from the work that we've been doing as a staff, but really in collaboration, particularly with SGA over the last few years, and really thinking about where are the opportunities, where are the gaps, where are the areas that we really want to increase supports and increase advocacy for students. And so again, I want to thank SGA really over the last 3 years in particular for really being core partners in that work. So I'm going to pause there and really want to open it up for questions, any questions or feedback that you may have. But really, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come and say hello and talk a little bit about the Division of Student Affairs, and if there are ways that we can be of support to you, not just in your leadership roles, but as a student. Don't hesitate to reach out. My office is actually in this building, right around the corner, in Suite 331. Feel free to stop by anytime. Email me. I'll make sure that my contact information is available. Follow me on Instagram, Towson BPSA. Very active there as well. But any ways and any venues I have to be able to engage with students, I really leaning into that. And so I'll stop there and open it up for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Once, twice. Oh, Senator Farrell?
So is the best way to reach you is through email and or going to you in person? Like, is there a way to like set up a more formal and professional meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So feel free to email me. My email address is vhurte@towson.edu. And again, I'll make sure that the leadership has information. In fact, Advisor Harris, if you can, make sure my contact information is available. Feel free to email me, schedule time, and, always happy to connect.
Assistant Director Lane.
Hello. So I know you have your PhD. Did you have to write a dissertation?
I did.
What did you write on?
So my dissertation was a existential phenomenological study that looked at Lev Vygotsky was a Russian psychologist and has a theory of the zone of proximal development. So it's this idea that independently we all have a max, and with scaffolding, with support, that support takes us to another max. And so my study looked at high achieving students and whether or not with the right supports, the right scaffolding, how you can move the individual max to a higher max. A lot of the work previous to that was on underachieving students or students that may have academic difficulty or developmental difficulty. So I wanted to flip it to see if the zone of proximal development kind of theoretical framework would work with higher achieving students.
Chief Justice Alojo.
Hello. I wanted to ask if you could like explain more on like any current initiatives that the Office of Student Affairs is like currently pushing. And then also like how can we as, the student government association help to support in any way?
Sure. So a couple of things, certainly the mental health, well-being areas. And so, probably about a year and a half ago, we did a reorganization and brought together the counseling center, the health center, and campus recreation. And so, most recently, we adopted the Okanagan Charter. And I would actually recommend Dr. Nora Clark-Giles, who is the Assistant Vice President of Student Health and Wellbeing, to come and talk about that. So the charter provides really a framework for how we can enhance well-being. Certainly for students, for us, but the kind of the strength of the charter is that it speaks to faculty, staff, and students. And so we have pulled together a kind of a new work group that brings the faculty kind of perspective. And so we have the provost office. We also have human resources to come together and really look at our policies, practices, and how it supports well-being on campus. Another thing that we're in process now, institution-wide, is the master plan. And so we've started the process of a campus master plan. There's a steering group across campus that's really looking at what's the future of this campus. And so certainly for me, it's looking at what's the future of our residential spaces? What's the future, of this union? We just did a renovation a few years ago, but what are students' needs going to look like in 5 years, in 10 years? And so having student feedback in that process is going to be really important. So the consultants that are helping the university in that, there are going to be opportunities for you to provide feedback online. There'll be kind of town halls, but in student affairs in particular, we will have a student affairs work group. And so I've shared with our president and vice president that I want to have some student representation on that. And so they're going to assist me in kind of appointing representatives, but there are going to be opportunities for all students to be able to share feedback there. So those are two kind of really major things that are happening right now.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Once, twice. All right. Thank you, Dr. Hurd. Appreciate it so much.
I want to thank you all.
All right. Any public participation or student concerns? Hearing none, seeing none, we are now going to move into communications, advisors' remarks.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Wanted to say thank you and congratulations on a successful homecoming week. SGA participated in several events / activities. So shout out to all of you for showing up. The parade was a good time, kicking us off last Monday. And then wrapping up the week at the tailgate on Saturday. And a specific shout out to all the students who participated in the Old School Challenge on Friday. Even though we didn't take the trophy home, y'all put in some good effort. It was really fun to see y'all out there engaging and raising awareness and funds for military and veterans families that are associated with Towson. So thank you, and give yourselves a round of applause. I know some of your leaders are going to share a little bit more about this, but tonight we also have a commitment. So our open house is this evening after GA. So really looking forward to what is now an annual tradition here in our building. So make sure you're showing up very present and professional, engaging with our student organization leaders, and really representing SGA well. I have one announcement from your administrative assistant. Timesheets for paid members are due tomorrow by 5 p.m. Please make sure you submit your timesheets at that time so there's no delay in your payment. I yield.
Appropriations Committee.
Hello, everybody, and happy Tiger Tuesday. Appropriations Committee met today at 3:30. We had our first grant review. It was from the Collaboration Fund between Actors Anonymous and Perfect Pitch. They will be putting on a cabaret event. They requested $230 for ECS charges, and it was approved. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Government Operations Committee.
All right, good evening, everybody. The Government Operations Committee met last Friday at 4 p.m. They went over Resolution 20, which was deemed unfavorable. Resolution 21 was also deemed unfavorable, and Resolution number 23 was deemed favorable. That I yield.
President Ali.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody.
I'm just going to speak more on what Advisor Carolyn had already said. After GA, we will be concluding GA at 6:30 today. After GA, we will be heading to our destinations for the open house. Director Morgan sent in the group me all of our locations. If you are still confused about where you are supposed to be for the open house, please find her after GA to further confirm where you're supposed to be at, and she will speak more on it. My main message today is to be on our best SGA behavior. We spoke more at pre-meeting about food servings and making sure that we're serving the student body before we serve ourselves, and being respectful and helping anybody in any way that we possibly can. I'm gonna do member of the week now, so can I get a drum roll, please? Okay, this member of the week has been one of the members of the exec cabinet that has put on an event this semester, a very successful event on a quick turnaround, if I do say so myself. She was able to rally a large group of us to donate blood in the past month, as well as receiving enough donations to get a $200 Amazon gift card from Red Cross, if I remember correctly. So without further ado, the member of the week will be Director Kazaka. And if there are no other questions, with that, I yield.
Treasurer Allen.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, guys. Just a brief announcement, the Budget Committee has commenced. We had our first round of FAC meetings tomorrow. So this is just to all senators. If you are on the Budget Committee, you are expected to participate and be there regardless of whether the organization presenting has been assigned to you or not. You are still supposed to be there, and you do need to have your budget checklist submitted in a timely manner. Please do not submit it late, because we depend heavily on that information when we are talking to organizations. So if you don't do your part, nobody else can do their part. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Attorney General Sonia.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Okay. Just a few things for me. Good job to everyone last week on absence request. You know, you do want there to be a clear record of when you're missing a meeting and etc. And with that, please do avoid submitting the absence request at the last minute. Consider the position you hold to be like a job. You don't want a last minute call out on your job because we're depending on you to do your part. So please don't leave that impression that you don't care, and let's do better in that regard moving forward. I do also want to stress communication. I've mentioned this multiple times. Unexcused absences will also be documented and notices will be issued moving forward, so please do proceed accordingly. Additionally, last week I sent out more than usual several missing weekly reports. So let's make sure that we are turning those in on time, 5 p.m. Friday sharp. If you are having issues with format, date, and etc., please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I can send you a format that you can copy and literally paste and fill out. So there should be no excuses at this point. And then, like I said, treat this position as a real job, considering every single aspect of your position, whether it's exec, judicial, or e-board, senate as well. So let's please make sure that we are showing up to where we are supposed to be and at the times we are supposed to be showing up. And then to clear up another misconception that I've been hearing. So if you do miss when your weekly report is supposed to come in that week, you are allowed to turn it in, like whenever. It's like a late assignment. You want it to be turned in. You'd rather have it turned in than not turned in at all. So do submit it when you can for that week with date, etc., and format. And then I do understand that we are going through midterms right now and that it can be a lot to handle, but please do communicate to me. And I wish you all the best on your exams. With that, I yield.
Chief of Staff Marlene.
Alrighty, so to start off, directors and assistant directors will need to schedule one-on-ones with the chief of staffs. The booking link will be sent out tomorrow via email, so make sure you are checking your emails tomorrow. Once your events get approved, make sure that you are contacting the Department of Special Projects and working with them to get your spaces booked in a timely manner. Give them time to book the spaces in time for ECS to approve them. Open house is tonight, as all of us have reiterated. If you have not submitted an absence request form for your absence, it will not be approved. So it's mandatory, so show up. If you have any questions about open house or your placement, please direct them to Director Morgan, as President Ali said. And then street team will be happening next Friday, October 24th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. The deadline to sign up is this Friday, October 17th. So make sure you are submitting the form that they sent in the group meeting. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Academic Affairs. Okay, Department of Communications.
Nothing to report.
Department of Community Outreach.
Hey everyone, happy Tiger Tuesday. So there's gonna be a community service opportunity for the cancer walk on Friday, November 24th at 12 p.m. in the SJ office. We're gonna be making goodie bags. And Director Kasako will announce that cancer walk. And then that also goes with just a requirement, just a friendly reminder that everybody needs at least 1 hour from an SGA event. The rest of the 4 hours can be from anything else. If there's no questions with that, I yield.
Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Yesterday, we held our Lotharia night with Tia Sorority, and we had a nice turnout. Tia Sorority, and we had a nice turnout. Food was provided, and we had 3 winners. First place won the Lego set, second place won the diffuser, and third place won the set. Thank you. With that, I yield.
Department of Governmental Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So Tiger Pride Day committees have begun and they're in full effect. Next year, Tiger Pride Day will look a little different. More information on that to come when we get closer to the date. The next event that we're planning is going to be titled We Are One, which will take place on October 28th, and it will be for National Immigration Day, and I Stand with Immigrants Movement. We'll be working with Department of Diversity and Inclusion, CSD Department, Civic Engagement, Social Responsibility, Lambdas, LTAs, and SIAs. And we will begin with a solidarity walk to honor those who built this nation, and then followed by a culture and ethnic celebration to celebrate where we come from. Meeting not happening. Any questions? I use my time.
Department of Health and Wellness.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. No report.
Department of Campus Relations.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone.
Tiger Tuesday.
Just one announcement. If you guys need any like marketing flyers, like video, literally anything like that, there is now a form on Basecamp. So you just put in your request when your event is, what you need, like any ideas on all of that, and then I'll take it and present it to the graphics department. So like you have everything you need for your events coming up. Any questions? Okay, with that I do.
Department of New Student Development.
Happy Taco Tuesday. Hey, okay, so what's going on with freshman council right now? We just had our election. Some of my babies are over there, so say hi to them. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so next we're gonna move on to tabling and getting more freshmen involved, as well as the same thing for transfer council. Any questions? No? Okay, I yield my time.
Department of Special Projects.
Good evening, everyone. No report.
Department of Student Organizations.
Hi guys, happy Tiger Tuesday. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Like everyone else said, today is the University Union Open House. Everyone is expected to be there. If you didn't tell me you're not gonna be there, I expected to be there. Yeah, I yield.
Department of Student Services and Affairs.
Sign up for the street team is sign up by the 17th on Friday, and the deadline for street team is on the 24th of October, next Friday. Any questions? I yield my vote.
Okay, so you said sign up for the street team
This Friday.
this Friday. So there's a street team this Friday.
Yeah, I sent the message in the group meet.
Okay, and then sign up. Okay, sign up by. Okay, Friday. And then you said something about November.
Oh, no. Next Friday, the 24th, is the street team, like the actual.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, cool, thank you.
Thank you. I yield my time.
Department of Sustainability.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So the Department of Sustainability has been really just supporting the entire month of October, which is the Campus Sustainability Month. And the Office of Sustainability is having events coming up. This is all month long again, and you can stay updated by checking their Instagram page, which is Sustainable TU. So literally just Sustainable TU. And then a big event that they're having on October 28th, 2025 is Shape TU Future. And it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a virtual town hall, and you can register with the link in their bio, and this is on their Instagram page again. And with that, I yield.
First Gen representative.
Good evening, everybody. No report.
Military and Veterans representative. Disability representative.
Hey everyone. So I'm hosting a beginner-friendly American Sign Language event for students who wants to learn basic ASL, For those who are interested, feel free to contact me. This event is great for students who, want to engage with the community and learn a valuable skill. And in addition to that, I want to highlight Towson's Walk Together, a 1 mile walk supporting the Special Olympics, Towson's, to promote inclusion or whatever, on campus. It's on the 25th of this month and runs from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I forgot to put the time on it, but I think it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. All right, and I'll just reach out to me if you want any further information. Yes.
So what is the exact date of the ASL event?
The what?
The date for the ASL event?
Just reach out to me after this event. I'll have the flyer and that.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, that's it. Thanks.
Council URG representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, so next week kicks off our new event called Neighborhood Week. It takes place from October 20th to October 23rd. The first event is a hall decorating contest. Each resident hall area has their own theme. They will be given supplies tomorrow and have till the 19th to decorate. It's the building councils, but you're able to help them if you want. Some of the themes are zombie apocalypse. There's like haunted mansion. They're all Halloween themed. I forgot which area got which, but I'm pretty sure the apartments have haunted mansion, West Village Apartments. The second day, voting for that will be October 19th from 5 p.m. to October 20th, 5 p.m. So make sure you vote for a winner. Then that Tuesday is Halls for the Hub. Donation boxes will be in all res halls from October 19th through October 21st. There will also be a tabling in the union from 1 to 4. Students are able to donate toiletries, food, supplies, clothing, anything that to give to the hub. And then that Wednesday is our outdoor movie night in Towson Town Field from 6 to 8:30. We will be showing Hocus Pocus 2. A lot of food, a lot of snacks, good times. Please go. And then our last event, which is that Thursday, will be Minute of Madness, which is from 6 to 8 p.m. Tiger Plaza. A lot of games, a lot of activities. All of this is point based. So at the end of this, a residence area will have a winner. I think there's one per area, I hope. And then our last thing is that tonight's our General Assembly. We have a guest speaker from Student Accountability and Restorative Practices. Are there any questions? With that, I yield.
Madam Representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So next week, Wednesday, we have our GM meeting, which is from 5 to 6 p.m. in UU room 329. Then the following week on October 29th, we have our Survive Towson event, which is a campus-wide event. So if you're looking for something to do, come out, have fun. And then the next day, October 30th, we'll be having our Netflix doubleheader, and we'll be showing Final Destination Bloodlines and movie Weapons from 5 to 9 p.m. So, yeah. I yield.
Toronto Council Representative.
Hello, no report.
Freshman Council Representative.
No report.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. All right, per usual, if you're not gonna use your agendas, please recycle them in the back and please put your nameplates in the box in the back. Other than that, senators, if you are on budget committee, please remember you are required to show up. We are currently in the middle of FAC meetings and the next week will be budget hearings. So if you're in that group chat and have been contacted regarding that, please show up whenever you're available. If you're available and are found to not be attending those meetings, then you will be issued a PDR. Next up, I have the report from our President Pro Tempore. Regarding Rules Committee. Rules Committee met Thursday, October 9th. The committee voted Senate Bill number 4 favorable and Senate Bill number 6 unfavorable. All Senator 101s were conducted as well as Senator trainings. Rules Committee will be this Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30. The second full member Senate meeting will take place this Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. It is mandatory. We will have schedules, so all senators should be in attendance. Budget Committee has started. Senators, if you're part of the committee, please make sure you communicate with Madison, myself, and Senate leadership if you have conflicts of interest. And if there are any questions or concerns, please let Senate leadership know. Thank you so much. Any questions? All right, with that, I yield. Are there any opinions of the court?
No report.
All right, senators, we will now move into a quorum call, so please click yes on your clickers to indicate that you're here. All right, with a vote of 8-0, we need a quorum. Are there any motions on the floor? Appropriations, Chairman Lind.
Motion to review Senate Resolution number 20.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Williams. We now move into a vote. All right, with a vote of 7-0, the motion is passed. I'll ask Appropriation Bureau to please come and present resolution number 20.
Hello, everyone. Senate Resolution 20 is the resolution establishing the new professional staff member. We reviewed this last week, and since this is second reading, are there any questions?
Senator Farrell.
My main, I guess, like, thing with this bill, and maybe you can provide clarification, is that from my understanding, when it comes to the fee increase, that wasn't something that was voted on. And so, and I know that's not something that can be voted on. And I'm aware that this bill was something that was here last year. And so I guess my main question is, considering that it was, considering that the funds were already like appropriated, what would happen if the, in the event if this bill doesn't pass, what would happen to those funds is, I guess what I'm trying to say.
The funds would just sit there.
So then we could use those funds for other things. So I guess what I'm trying to, no?
No.
No.
The funds were allocated in fee form for the development of a new professional staff member in our department. So they are there specifically for salary. So the fee forum voted on this over the summer and allocated us more money towards full-time staff. So the fee increase is designated towards full-time staff positions.
Yeah. So am I allowed to get my?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think one of my main gripes with this, if I'm being completely transparent, is that it just, to me, it just kind of seems like it just went through every level besides the actual students. And I know students can't vote on the fees, and I know students can't ask for a fee increase, or like they have no say in that. But considering the fees were allocated towards this, I just kind of feel as though this should be something that needs more student body input, because yeah, like, it just needs more student body input because it just kind of seems like it was just kind of passed through them and yeah. That's just like my opinion, but.
Vice President.
I just wanted some quick clarification. Advisor Harris, if I could be correct, the fee forum was open to certain SGA members, and I believe I attended that fee forum as well, and we had the opportunity. So I think there was an opportunity for students to interact with that fee forum on any level, and I don't believe there were any questions raised once this was brought up. So not only was like the student body involved in this decision, I know multiple students that were in this room attended that. It was a mandatory SGA event that we attended. And so we did have a chance to have our own say and opinion on the fee. And there were no concerns from any member of the student body because it wasn't just SGA student body members. It was multiple other members of the student body as well that could have had inputs on it, but no one really did after following the explanation and discussion of this increase.
President Ali.
Also to speak on your, not second point, but like one of the points that you made on having more student body involved in this, bill and this, making of this position. A lot of the current issues that are happening within SGA are because we do not have somebody to mediate them within the office. We do not have a direct point of contact. A lot of the feelings and a lot of the grievances or feelings that people may be having or some of the issues that are brought to e-board's attention are because we do not have a pro staff person that's specifically here for SGA. Advisor Carolyn, amazing woman, love her. We're not her only task. I've seen Advisor Carolyn's calendar. Advisor Carolyn has a lot going on. She also has a personal life. And I think sometimes things happen within SGA where students, I don't nobody, I'm funny. Students have to navigate issues that we should not have to navigate. That is not our job to navigate. We're carrying burdens that we should not have to carry. If we had a pro staff member within the office that we could find, that we could come to as a mentor, as somebody who could listen to our concerns, a lot of the current issues that we're having within this administration and in past administrations would not be happening. It maybe not happening, but they will be properly resolved by somebody who has been trained to mediate these issues. So I think when we talk about student body being involved in it, you are the student body being involved in it. Where do you find the need, like where do you find the biggest gap in between your work as SGA senator and your relations with other SGA members? And where do you find a professional staff member that can bridge that gap? There's a lot of other things that this professional staff member would bring to the table, but I think a main thing that SGA needs going forward throughout the administrations that come after the 105th administration is a mediator, is somebody to be in the office to resolve a lot of the conflicts that we have because we're young. I mean, there was another point that you had made, but I think Vice President Britton had spoke before me and I forgot my point, so. It's okay, but yeah, just to speak more on that. And also to clarify too, the reason the bill didn't pass last year was there's a lot of common misconceptions surrounding what the position would do, what we could do. Us leaving that pocket of roughly $80,000 sitting there while Towson University is being audited, it's not smart. If fee forum voted for us to have a pocket of money to hire a professional staff member, then, and fee forum, like Liam just said, and students were there and students heard this, and this was proposed to them and students agreed and nobody verbally disagreed at that time, then it is within our duties as SGA members to follow through with that, to make sure that we are using the money that has been allocated by students, by freshman students that had just come in, students who have been here for the last 3 years, who had to pay more for their SGA fees to do what we set out to do in the first place.
Yeah, and to echo what President Ali was saying, I know I touched on this last General Assembly, but Representative Selman and I, we came from another SGO where we had a position such as this in place. And it was a smaller organization. That's not to say we were perfect, we were far from it. And it was with the guidance of this professional staff member. We had many an internal conflict, many external conflicts. It's with this guidance that we were able to develop and understand each other and understand our ability as student leaders. So having someone that is designated specifically for this purpose will help us not only grow within ourselves as student leaders, but grow in order to help the student body more. So that's what I was touching on. And much like President Ali, I also lost my second train of thought, so I'll take more questions.
Senator Williams.
Just a point of clarification, what was the SJ fee increase, like how much was it increased by?
$2.
$2?
Are there any other questions? I recommend a member of the Senate give their time to Deputy Chief Justice. Senator Williams.
I yield my time to, Deputy Justice Blaine,
Hi, we just wanted to ask, so last time you did mention the judicial branch and you did mention how, this new position would also be helping us and benefiting us. I just wanted to ask, could you share a bit more about how our involvement as the judicial branch fits into the process for this position?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as the professional staff member would be there, they would be there for every single member of SGA to go and interact with if they had any questions about their role or leadership development. Also, as members of SGA, we all would have a role in hiring this new professional staff member. So that would include J-Board. So it includes everyone in SGA, but they will be primarily working with directors because there is less direct guidance and involvement for like how to plan events, how to do this, how to do that. So that it doesn't fall directly onto chief of staff and deputy chief of staff who may also still be learning themselves. So it's someone specifically designated to help with coordination of events and everything like that, in addition to leadership development to all of us as student leaders. That answer?
Yes, and then to follow up, is this professional assistant always going to be in the office?
They would have regular office hours throughout the week. So they would be in the office. They would be a part of the student activities office. They would be in there with us in SGA.
I do have a question, and kind of in response to Senator Burrell's question, where he asked if this wasn't to pass. You said that the funds would just sit there. Could you kind of explain why it couldn't be allocated to any other things?
The fee forum voted on it for professional staff salary, so it would have to go towards professional staff salary, to my understanding.
Advisor Harris.
So in addition to that, because that was a first step, the current SGA budget, not sure if anyone has looked at it, it's posted online. So your FY 26 budget also has allocated these funds for this position. So as a part of the process that happens in the summer for the annual budget process and connected to what President Ali shared in the steps of doing what needs to be done to establish this position, the funds are already allocated to a budget line.
Yeah, so if anyone still has their first General Assembly packet, in the Finance Bill 1 under FTE salary allotment, you'll see that there was an increase there, and then that was where these funds from the SGA fee increase were allocated towards. So it was previously 170 some thousand, and now it is 200,000 that were allocated towards FTE salaries, which is for full-time employment. So that is why we can't designate it elsewhere, because we approved it as full-time position salaries. So that is where it sits.
And that can't be changed this year?
No, because we passed the finance budget for the fiscal year 26.
Any other questions? President Britton.
I just want to say, like, just to kind of reiterate everything we've said up here, this is, as you can see here, between $78,000 and $88,000 that will just be sitting there in our budget, a budget that we approved at the beginning of this year. If we want to talk about student approval and student voices, we had the chance to ask questions regarding the budget and disapprove the money being a part of our budget, but we approved it as a Senate and as an administration. So that is our voice being said that we approved the money that was allocated to us for this position, and we can't just let it sit there for something like this. Another thing, how many of us have ever had an issue in the office and decided I'm going to go to Advisor Harris or Administrative Assistant Richardson? I know I do probably literally every day. Do you guys know how crowded their calendars are? Very. Very. And their jobs are not always to help us for every single little thing we do because they have a lot of other stuff going on. And this person is there so that these people do not have to do that for every single problem that we have. We also have other people to go to, like Susan in the office, but she is handling our finance coordination. So she also has a lot of other stuff going on. And this is to take a load off of Janaya, a load off of Advisor Harris, a load off of the executive board, and a load off of Susan, and to help you guys more directly with the issues. Because I know a lot of times when we have issues and things that we need to solve, to get to those very busy people, it might take a while, and we don't have that type of time with the issues that we're facing. And this would allow us to get direct help with issues that we need right now at all three branches. So this is why this role is needed, and we also approve the money that is needed for this role, and that's why we are trying to push it through today. Thank you.
And to reiterate that with the amount that we have all needed guidance, administrative assistant Richardson has taken on a lot of roles and responsibilities that are not in her job description. So a lot of us will go to her for advice, and I'm sure she loves talking to all of us. But some of the things she helps us with are not things that she is not supposed to, that not things that are outlined for her to deal with. So having this position will alleviate the load not only of responsibilities that are outlined in their descriptions, but responsibilities that they have been filling without being asked. I also remember my train of thought earlier. So some of the concern was that this was a bill last year, and then it was reintroduced this year. It was not just a direct copy paste. We worked on a lot of the issues with clarification to outline the concerns that were brought up in the previous administration's General Assembly where they denied this bill. And we worked on that to rewrite it and reshape it to better fit the concerns of the previous administration. And also to reiterate what Vice President Brinton was saying, between the fee forum and the Finance Bill 1, there was time to review the finances and take a look at what was outlined. So while some of you may not have been in the administration for the fee forum attendance, many of you were here for Finance Bill 1, which the discussion lasted basically 2 weeks on that. So there was time to look through the budget and see where there were increases versus where there were not increases. So we saw that this salary increase in the full-time budget, and we approved it. While I hear and understand the concerns, there was also a lot of time to address it, especially because we spent, Treasurer Allen and I stood up here and went over the budget with you almost like piece by piece, pretty much.
I recommend a member of Senate yield their time to Chief Justice Alojo. Senator Farrell.
I'd like to yield my time to Chief Justice Alojo.
Okay, I guess this is the question, directly to Advisor Carolyn. So like, how would, I know you said like the position would aid directors, more heavily, but like, are there specific ways like that position would also aid us as a judicial branch, like specific ways? Or would our contact still be you and Chris Randolph?
That's a good question. So right now, the job description does not specifically connect the new staff member with the judicial branch. I think that separation exists because a new professional, which is the intention of this position, so someone fresh out of grad school who went to school to work with college students. So in their first 1 to 3 years of working in the field, they might not fully understand judicial process. And so I don't know that that is necessarily a responsibility I would give to that position. So for now, judicial board would stick with me. I do think if this position is approved, the relief that I would find in some of the tasks that I'm doing to support the cabinet and some other SGA things that happen would leave more space for me to be present with the judicial branch.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Williams.
So my only question is, how I phrase this? So with the SJ increase being approved by the fee forum, why wouldn't it be to where this legislation should have been passed first and then that money was as like? Because the thing is, if we don't pass this, we kind of just have that money sitting around And so my thing is, why wasn't this piece of legislation passed first before we asked for that SGA increase?
Yeah, thank you. Good question. So the fee forums, we presented that there would be a need for another full-time staff member in the SGA. They saw that need and approved the money for us to establish a position so that if we had not allocated this money for their budget, they would not have been able to start this year because we would not have money to pay them. So if we had approved this, we would not have been able to get started with a professional staff member if we hadn't approved that money in the fee forum previously. So since it went through the fee forum, they saw a need for a new full-time staff member in our office. They approved money for a full-time staff member in our office so that we could write the legislation and get it passed so that we could have a member there. If we hadn't done that, they wouldn't have been able to start until next year, which would leave us with a gap in our administration, so we would not be able to serve the student body as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments, questions, concerns? Right, seeing none, are there any motions on the floor? Senator Burrell,
Call to question, resolution 20.
is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Ramos. We want to move into a motion on the call. With the vote of 7-0, the motion passes. We will now enter into a vote. All right, with a vote of 7-0, resolution number 20 has passed. Congratulations. Are there any motions on the floor?
Motion to review resolution 21.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. Moving to a vote on the motion to review resolution number 20. Vote of 7-0, the motion is passed. Seeing as I'm the bill writer, I'll ask Appropriations Chair Miller to take my place. All right, good evening, everybody. So resolution number 21 deals with freedom of speech on our campus and civil discourse. I have made a bunch of amendments, which you will see. Yeah. Good. So a bunch of these amendments deal with kind of being more precise in what I'm trying to portray here. I go through the national survey, kind of portraying. Second. Oh, yeah. So I basically you can actually, can you like, you go down. You keep going. Right there is good. So that's where the majority of the amendments take place. I do ask that you all do take a look at those. Basically, the point is I'm trying to portray here is incidents that have occurred on campus regarding freedom of speech and civil discourse. And I think an important thing to remember is that students are becoming more actively engaged in political issues, you know, in the local, state, and federal level and on an international level. And so we kind of see how students have the desire to use their rights of freedom of speech. But with that also comes a responsibility. You have to maintain a civil discourse culture. I think it's very important, especially for higher education. The place is to, approach people you disagree with. Kind of having debates and conversations, because these are important issues, but we have to make sure it's done within a culture of civil discourse. You can keep going. Well done. And then therefore be it resolved clause, I did remove the second bullet point. It's not really tied to what this bill is talking about, and the university kind of already does it. But I did keep the other two because I do think they are important to the overall goal of the bill. Are there any questions, concerns about?
I recommend that if you want the bill with the amendments to be considered, that a motion to amend is made.
Can they ask questions before? I don't know if they have.
Okay. We'll take questions. Senator Burrell?
So firstly, I'd like to say that I do like this bill. I think that there needs to be more, like clarity on what is protected speech and what isn't, especially as you pointed out. People in general are becoming more politically aware, and I think that it is really important that the university make sure we foster like good conversations. I think my only thing is that even with the amendments, even with the sources that you do add, I still don't feel as though it's enough, because I think that there needs to be more collaboration with organizations, offices, like the Office of Civic Engagement, and to make sure this bill is more stronger, because if the point is to make sure that we're fostering that, I think we need to show the university that students actually like want to push this to make it stronger, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I will say I have been in contact with several different student organizations. They have told me that they do really support this because they have come in conflict with universities' policies surrounding freedom of speech. And so this is something that they do see as a concern.
And to my second point, so would you be willing to have someone like organizations and offices and stuff like that like sponsor this? Because as I said before, it's just like I feel as though it needs to be stronger and have more collaboration. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like my second point. Like, yeah, like would you be like willing to like do more research on it and get more input from like these offices and organizations?
I mean, if it were to pass, it would go to the Office of Student Affairs and Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility, because they kind of oversee that kind of deal.
President Ali?
Hi, I have two questions for now, and I'll probably have more questions later. Have you had conversations with the Office of Civic Engagement
And social.
and Social Responsibility about where they feel Towson University's freedom of speech policies and procedures lie? That's my first question. My second question is, what organizations are you currently in contact with that will be willing to support this type of bill? Names preferably.
It was individuals. I don't know I don't know exactly what student organizations they are. I know they said they are students on campus. But I haven't been in contact with the Office of Civic Engagement.
Okay, so Senator Farrell said that you were in contact with student organizations. So that's the only reason I brought that question up, because those are your words. And then my second question is, because me and Vice President Britton just had a sit-down conversation with Dr. Hurt, and we talked about freedom of speech, and we talked about how the university already uses this, potentially uses this fire to college freedom of speech rankings. And I think it'll be more beneficial to have conversations with those offices to see where they stand, to see if this is something that is necessary, and to see if if they feel as if this survey surveys the entirety of Towson's campus, because we talked about this last time about how the survey only, and I think that was Director Bryant who Director is, who brought it up, that this survey does not survey all of Towson students' population, surveys a small population of their student body. 1%? 1% I'm hearing from Vice President Britton. So I wonder if this survey is productive in that sense, because it's not getting everybody's voice involved in it. And then two, I wonder if legislation even needs to be had, if this could be a conversation where the university is already working on providing more structure to what freedom of speech is and freedom of expression is at Towson University. I don't know. And my understanding from my position as president, legislation is to be brought forward when the university is not rising to the occasion. However, from my conversations that I've had with Vice President Brent, the university does see that this is something that needs to be talked about and addressed, and they are doing the necessary work to talk about it and address it. So I wonder if SGA's positioning should be to support the university in doing so, or call for them to do something that they're already doing.
Oh, I mean, dude.
I didn't know if you had.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, is there any downside to passing this?
The major downside that I can see right now from reading this is that it only surveyed 1% of the university. And that in this polarizing climate, it is important that what we are passing represents the entirety of Towson student body. And I just don't personally feel that this survey is enough evidence to say that this is something that we need to focus on. If the university is already focusing on it with further evidence from other surveys that they've conducted, and that didn't only survey 1% of the Towson's population.
I recommend a member of the Senate yield their time to Director Fleury. Senator Farrell.
I yield my time to Director Fleury.
Hi, my main question was, since there is all that President Ali has said, and there has been these debates on campus-wide, and they have been regulated and they have been handled, what do you want to, like, what difference do you want to see in passing this? Like,
I mean, in the specific instances that I point out with the amendments, I'm kind of like, we have to generate a culture of civil discourse, especially like, I think we're living in a time that's kind of very unique. And kind of students are becoming much more strong with their opinions. So they have to express that in a way that's peaceful, where people can agree to disagree. And so, everyone in this room has strong opinions. And so that can kind of, get this kind of hostile environment. So we have to do our part in making sure that it is a peaceful environment where everybody can learn from each other.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, a lot of hands. I'm going to make a comment also myself. I know I had asked last General Assembly about statisticians that worked on this team. Were you able to confirm whether or not there were?
Oh, yeah, they do.
They do, because from what I understand, the 239 Towson University students is not a statistically significant population sample size. In order to be making all of these claims about Towson as an entire university, especially since this was not a randomly selected group of students, it was students that sought out this organization in order to mention it.
It was random.
It was random?
Yeah, it was random. So basically the way they do it is it's through College Pulse, which is an online survey. And it's just, it's like completely random. It's not like you go to them. It's more they go to the students, if that makes sense.
So how could you elaborate more on how the sample was selected? So through College Pulse, was this something that every student of Towson University had the opportunity to be sent?
Yeah.
Okay. President Ali?
Okay, I'm gonna,
So you say provide educational programming for students to clarify the distinction between protected expression and unprotected conduct, reducing reliance on obstructive tactics and fostering healthier dialogue on campus. And I agree with that. And I do agree that we are in a political climate where students do need to be able to have civic engagements respectfully. However, we just introduced the Center for Student Civic Engagement and Civil Discourse, the Ben and Marina Carden Center for Civic Engagement and Civil Discourse. So the university they already have plans to do exactly what you're asking them to do. So I think that rather than a bill hitting the floor and a bill passing, our legislation passing, I think that we should do more work to be involved in these conversations, to do more work to help the university aid how they're going to structure this new addition to civic engagement and civic discourse. Because from the conversations I'm having, from the position that I'm in, that is what the university is already set out to do. That's what the university already plans to do, because they see the same things that you see. They see the same memorials where tomatoes are getting thrown and students are getting arrested and not being able to come back to school for however long. They see those things and they see the problems arising. So I just implore you, or I implore us to understand that when we're putting legislation on the floor, we're stating that the university is not doing the necessary work. That's why we're bringing legislation to the floor, to protect the students of Towson University. However, the university has already set in place things to do the very thing that you're asking to do, with more research behind it.
I recommend I recommend a member of the Senate yield their time to Director Reyes. Senator Angela Quinn.
I yield my time to Director Reyes.
So I just want to say, I agree with what everyone is saying. Again, it's not, the data isn't significant enough to like actually, I believe, to pass the legislation. I think the most important thing in order for the legislation to even work is education. And as President Ali mentioned, there are, what's it called? There are organizations on campus who are working on this. Like we just met with civic engagement last week, and they want to have a whole social media post about freedom of speech and educating the student body, and as well as we spoke the other day about like educating the student body on free speech. So I don't think the legislation is so much needed if so much work is also being done, as President Ali mentioned. So that would be my take on it.
Senator Farrell.
Yeah, kind of agreeing with everyone's point. Also, I guess like kind of point of information. I work in the Office of Civic Engagement, and from a lot of the people like higher up is that they do want to like come and initiate and talk about freedom of speech. And so, as many people have said, it's like, if this doesn't necessarily need to be a legislation, and more so like, in my opinion, necessarily need to be a legislation, and more so like an outreach initiative with with these offices that like do the things that you're outlining the university to do. That was just kind of like a point of information.
I recommend a member of the Senate yield their time to Chief Justice Olojo. Senator Farrell.
I yield my time to Chief Justice Olojo.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a little different turn, but also I still agree in some parts of what everybody's saying. I do think like people are saying that this is not a big enough statistic for this to be a bill. But I also do wanna how do I say, validate the feelings of the people who were surveyed. Because I do think like if 239 people are coming forward and saying they're feeling censored, I think that's still important for us to recognize. I don't think like looking at this from a statistical perspective is like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, being considerate. Like I think because 239 people came forward and said like, oh, my freedom of speech is feeling like I do feel censored. I do think that we still should pay attention to that. But I also do think it's not a great enough statistic to like bring this type of bill forward. I think this is still like a community outreach thing where like I do see, and Senator Cardin came to our class and talked about how he's establishing this center. So I do think the university is pushing forward efforts to, create a conducive environment where freedom of speech is being promoted, and like ways to
better freedom of speech on campus or free speech on campus. So I do think like this shouldn't be like a bill like saying, oh, we need to do better, but I do think it should be a bill to say we should support and even present more efforts or present more ideas and where we can promote more freedom of speech. But I do think to say like, oh, you know, 289, that's not it. I think there's that statistic is still important in the individual level because that's still showing there is a problem still. But yeah, that was my thing.
Point of information also, it was not all 239 people that reported self-censorship. It was 46% of the 239 people that reported feeling censored. But I agree that we should still validate those feelings. I've just stated for the record, it was not all
I'm
239.
not saying like, oh, this is, oh yeah, we should, yeah, I'm just saying like, because it sounded like it was being a little dismissed.
Vice President Britton.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to echo some sentiments. Oh, look, yeah. So like everyone said, it is a small sample size. And like Appropriations Chair Miller just reported that it is the minority of that said small sample size that is reporting these problems on campus. 34% of 239 people is about 80 people. And while I believe that freedom of speech is very important, and I believe that research like this is very important, I don't believe it's our duty to move forward as an SGA moving off the opinions of 80 out of 200,000, 20,000 people, especially when it is only coming from one source. Because the majority of this bill is highlighted by research from one single source. And as a nonpartisan body, our commitment is kind of to making sure we see both sides of all spectrums and not just in party and politics, but in research as well. And so we're only seeing one side of a research study, then we're not getting the full spectrum of the research that we could possibly be getting. As well as, another point, my train of thought is gone. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to echo that because it is also a very small amount of people. And like we all said, that these are efforts that the university is moving forward. We've had conversations with Dr. Ginsburg and Dr. Hurt throughout the past week. And this civic engagement and civil responsibility has been something that they are very adamant about. It has been the center of a lot of our discussions. And these things that we're talking about have been the main piece of discussion for a lot of the upper level management over the last couple of weeks, especially since the event that you mentioned here. And I believe that when it comes to our legislation, I think our point should not be to always just echo what administration is already working on, but we should be looking for things that we can't get any work through with administration, because I believe our first tool should always be our communication and meetings and ability to meet them face to face and talk about things and build things with them. And I believe that things like this should be saved for when they aren't listening to us. And I know for a fact through the conversations I've had with the upper administration, with Dr. Hurt and Dr. Ginsburg and the upper offices, that these are the things the university is striving for and the issues that they are hoping to solve. But
I will say, I think with everything that's being said here, I would like to make a motion to table this.
Are there any seconds? Senator Pearl.
Oh, I second.
Thank you.
Of 6-1.
Okay, with that, with the vote of 6-1-0, this has been tabled. Thank you, Government Operations Chair Kelly.
Are there any motions on the floor?
Due to the fact that we are stopping at 6:30 today and we have the open house tonight, I would recommend a member of the Senate, motion to table resolution 23, Senate Bill number 4, Senate Bill number 6, and Senate Bill number 8.
Are there any motions on the floor? For Vice Chair Miller,
A motion to table the remainder of the agenda until next assembly.
there's a second.
I second.
Thank you, Senator Williams. The 700, all legislation has been tabled. Alright, any announcements? All right, are there any questions on the floor? Senator Williams?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator. The 700, motion passes. General Assembly is adjourned.